Hello, and welcome to the reflection for the 19th of January, a Tuesday. I'm Canon Nigel Davis, Vicar of the Close. Apart from being the 19th today, it's also the day when the church commemorates Saint Wulstan, who was a bishop of Worcester and was consecrated as bishop in 1062. And was noted as a monastic reformer. What really interested me was that he was involved in the abolition of the slave trade, which then existed between the Diocese of Worcester and Ireland, which at that point was being ruled by the Vikings. Woolston apparently persuaded the traders of Bristol of the sanctity of life and of the human right to freedom. And so they gave up the slave trade, obviously years before the slave trade between Bristol and America, when Colston, the statue, was thrown into the river. Perhaps they should erect Woolston's statue in its place. It's been an exciting time in the Close. On Saturday, the cathedral opened to receive those who were coming for vaccination. And it was busy from the start, from the sun going up to the sun going down. And later than that, the lights were still burning. Many, many people came, and they were brought in different ways. And they were brought in taxis, they were brought by their families, and there were a couple of golf caddies driving them to and from the car parks where they were coming from. You may well have seen a lot of this on television. It made the news, it made the local news, it made the national news, and indeed our two organists, David Halls and John Challenger, were on breakfast at the unearthly hour of about 10 to 7, talking about playing the music which they played, because the organ played during the whole of the time that people were receiving their vaccinations. And I'd also seen a cartoon in the Telegraph magazine and a very fulsome praise of the efforts of the cathedral. So it was really good to feel that the cathedral was playing its part in the local area, perhaps in a way that it used to in medieval times when it was the centre of life. Suddenly it had come back to life. Although we were closed for in-person worship, we were able to offer the space to do something really helpful and hopefully transforming for many people's lives. So I was feeling quite positive on Monday until I trawled through the BBC website and came across a pronouncement by the Dr. Tedros, who is the leader of the World Health Organization. And he was saying this: "I need to be blunt. The world is on the brink of a catastrophic moral failure. And the price of this failure will be paid with lives and livelihoods in the world's poorest country." So just as I was getting excited about the rollout of the vaccination program, Dr. Tedros said that 39 million vaccine doses had been administered in 49 higher income countries, whereas just 25 doses had been given in one poor country. Certainly took away my smile. And then I also read that the People's Vaccination Alliance coalition were saying that people were actually, or rich countries, were actually stockpiling the vaccine. It said that nearly 70 lower income countries would only be able to vaccinate 1 in 10 people. So I was rather downcast, but at last, some good news from Matt Hancock, who has often been the one who's the bearer of desperate news. He was questioned about what Dr. Tedros said and was able to tell us that the UK is the world's biggest supporter financially of the global program to ensure access to vaccines in all countries of the world. He told us that the UK had financially supported this international effort to the tune of some 548 million. So that rather changed the picture, and I felt good about our country once again. It may well be that some countries will stockpile, and always it is rich countries who tend to do better than poorer ones. But let's hope that there will be an equal sharing out of the vaccine, because if the COVID virus stays active in the world, it still won't be better for all of us. Now, this week was also Christian Unity Week. It won't be Christian Unity Week as we have formerly known it, because none of us can get together to be with our fellow Christians in their different churches. Usually, Christian Unity Week is spent going round other denominations' churches, having different acts of worship in different places, and being with our fellow brothers and sisters, whatever their tradition is. And usually somebody is tasked with the job of producing worship for that week, which again has gone ahead. And the worship you can now find online is worship prepared by a community in Switzerland. It's a monastic community, and the title of their theme for Christian Unity this time is "Abide in my love, and you shall bear much fruit." What they've produced is some very interesting meditative liturgies which can be followed each day. Obviously, we can't get together and follow them in person, but certainly it would be possible to go online and find this and worship together but separately. Or you might want to use Zoom, as we do here in the cathedral, for various acts of worship. I appreciate that Christian Unity has not always had a high profile. We all tend to like the way our church does it. We all tend to feel comfortable worshipping in our particular ways. But Jesus wanted us all to be united. And in one sense, if we can't be united as Christians, then we don't really have much to say to other countries and other people when they fall out. The fact that Christians sadly have often fallen out about this, that, and the other is a sad comment on our communal life. And Christian Unity Week, I suppose, tries to highlight and make things better. But unfortunately, as is often the case, the movement to being united is rather slow. But we can hope and we can pray. And so I'd like to end this little reflection with one of the prayers that is part of this week's Christian Unity devotions. So if you're a praying type, join in with me by saying Amen at the end. And here is the prayer. God our Father, you reveal to us your love through Christ and through our brothers and sisters. Open our hearts so that we can welcome each other with our differences and live in forgiveness. Grant us to live united in one body, so that the gift that is each person comes to life. May all of us together be a reflection of the living Christ. Amen. Well, thanks for joining me. Bye for now.